it's the holiday season. You got the Commanders, you got the 49ers. Somebody's coming down the chimney now, and I guarantee you it's going to be those San Francisco 49ers. It's the preview show with the great John Chapman. Stick around. We're going to talk about it and break it down right here on the WayneBreezie Show. Merry Christmas, you filthy animals.
Breezy this, breezy that. They know I'm gold-blooded. I got the Niners on my back, you know. Breezy this, breezy that. Ain't nobody working like Breezy, and that's a fact. Overmotivated is an understatement. Gold-blooded to the core, got your squad hating. Breezy make it look easy. Breezy on everything like 05, 067 Wheezy. This is not a gang. Yeah, we faithful in every way. And even though we on the East Coast, very loyal to the Bay. Heavy red and gold every day. And if you really a Niner fan, I know you can relate. Applying pressure with this content like Smaller Bear. We not accepting no slander about Trey, so beware. I stay in exclusively Niner hats. And I always tell the truth, this exclusively Niner facts. Breezy this, breezy that. They know I'm gold-blooded. I got the Niners on my back, you know. Yeah. Breezy this.
Hey.
Merry Christmas, you filthy animals.
And a Happy New Year. What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Breezy and the one and only Mr. John Chapman. How you doing, Playboy?
Man, I'm so pumped to be here. The graphics, are you kidding? I'm not a Christmas guy. It's not my favorite day, but I love the energy and the positivity that come from other people, and I'm glad to be here. Man, I'm looking at your chat before the show even goes live.
Yeah.
Your chat is bumping before we even went live.
They were rocking, and I'm sitting here reading the stuff, and I saw something, and I was like, oh no, we have to talk about our sister Chrissy. I didn't look. She said she was diagnosed with cancer yesterday. Breast cancer. I love her spirit, though. She says, I got this, fam. Actually, God does. Let's go. You will definitely be in our prayers, Chrissy. Stay strong. We got you. Let us know if there's anything we can do for you other than prayer. We got you. My mom has gone through this a couple of times, so she's been able to beat it twice. So I know Chrissy's going to beat it. She's going to be just fine, and she's going to be strong out there supporting her boys and supporting us. Well, Chrissy, we love you. We appreciate you.
We're with you, man. We are with you. We got you, Chrissy.
Here's the crazy thing that she put she put this in here, right? So John, I'm telling you, somehow, some way I woke up at like 2:30 in the morning. I fell asleep early though. So I fell asleep probably like around 11ish, which is early for me. And then I fell asleep watching Abbott Elementary, and I woke up at 2:30 like, oh man, I fell asleep on the show because it's so good, right? And so then I get on the internet, and then I just started going down rabbit holes, right?
Yeah, we all have those days, man. We all have those days.
But no, like, here's the thing. I ended up clicking on something about what's the lady? She used to be like on Good Morning America. Can't remember her. And she used to be on TV. She was like an anchor, and she was diagnosed with cancer, her and her partner.
Oh.
And she beat it. And I don't know, she was promoting like CBDs. I don't know why, but she said that the CBDs is what helped her beat the thing. And she ended up getting let go by ABC because she came out and started.
This is all news to me.
I don't know if it's real, but like I almost purchased some CBDs.
Hey man, you do what you got to do. You do what you got to do. Care about yourself first. Yes, all that other stuff out.
Right. So Chrissy, I don't know if you want to check that out, but apparently, like, Christina Applegate and all these other famous people said that these things work. So I don't know. I'm just
Gronk,
putting it out
man,
there.
He's on your side, man. Gronk, he's out there. That's what he's doing now.
Oh, get out of here.
Yeah, he's like one of the main owners in a CBD like company that, pain relief and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, that's what he's doing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's other medicines out there other than chemo. So I just wanted to put that out there. I'm not promoting them, not doing anything. I just happened to read it, and then she happened to put the message in here. But guys, we're happy to be here. It's Friday. It's Christmas Eve, right?
Eve Eve.
Eve, and the game's tomorrow, John. I've never been more excited for a football game. So here's the thing: I got a gig tomorrow, right? And so it's a Saturday, so I have to work on Saturdays. But the gig is at from 2 to 5. So I told the person, I said, listen, my game starts at 4. So I don't know what type of breezy you're gonna have from 4 to 5. It's gonna be a different energy. I can tell you that right now. I hope he's watching, yo. He said, he, he said, damn. All right, I might have to cancel it.
Hey,
Or,
man,
hey,
be
listen.
real.
Hey, I just said, listen, from 4 to 5, you're gonna get me from 2 to 3, 2 to 4, you good. But the 4 to 5 hour, that last stretch, he said, man, maybe I could just read the crowd and put on some music or something. I was like, hey, and he said the game will be on for me. He said he caters to me so I love this guy, Timmy Mai. He's like my big brother, my mentor. But he knows around football season, he'll send me these dates, and then I'll be like, yeah, so I can't do this one, this one, this one, this one, this one. Can you hit me back up in February? Like February after
Right.
Valentine's Day to be exact. So it's
Well,
pretty
it's funny
cool.
because okay, my oldest son lives in Indiana. He's 19. He's coming back home. So he was supposed to fly back in today, but they're having storms, so they canceled his flight.
Mm.
And so then the wife, I was live and whatever else all day. So she was working the rescheduling. Sure enough, that dude's coming in during the 49ers game. And I was like, you're picking him up, right, babe? You're picking him up, right?
I would have had an Uber waiting for him, bro.
That's probably what we're gonna have to end up doing. But delayed again, so we're like kind of like whatever. But it's like, I'm gonna be driving, watching that game. Like, I don't want to do that. We'll make
This
it
is funny. This is funny. But listen, it happens every year. They just throw that one monkey wrench on a Saturday, just not really ready for it. Saturday or college days, games
It
are at
was
1
the
o'clock.
Tennessee Titans game last year, which I
Last
was
year.
planning on going to until the schedule came out and it was Christmas Eve, and my wife said, "Nope." She's like, "No, you're not."
Yeah.
So I was like, "All right, I'm not going."
All right, let's get to some 49er news real quick, John. What's the latest in 49ers news that you have? I mean, we talked about the Pro Bowl. We talked about, hey, how about this? Kinlaw's playing.
That's number one. That's what I was going to lead with.
You got
Not
it.
only because, again, I've been saying the whole time, you save them for the playoffs. Kyle Shanahan said, nope, we're ripping the Band-Aid off. We need to know if we can depend on this cat long-term or not. So not only is he going to be activated early, that dude's going to be playing and probably starting. Like, it's going up there, man. I'm not going to be surprised at all if he's out there the very first series. If he's suited up, he goes through warm-ups, you got to put 9-9 out there.
Here's the funniest part, John. I told people 2 days ago when I said that Kinlaw was returning that he probably never was really as injured as we thought he was. People don't like conspiracies, and it's fine. I get it.
You do.
I can't help it, bro. It doesn't. Some stuff just doesn't add up to Breezy. Like it doesn't add up in my head, bro. It doesn't compute, right? I'm saying to myself, man, listen. Kyle Shanahan came out and made the statement 3 days ago. Yeah, man, he just got to put the pads on. We won't know what he's going to be like until he puts the pads on. He puts the pads on, blah, 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 blah. And then here comes Kinlaw with his thing. I forgot what he said. I want to play. I'm just gonna paraphrase it. Yeah, I want to play. So I'm like, maybe there's some kind of discourse between Kyle and Kinlaw. Maybe.
Well, I think they're protecting him from himself.
That's
like
what you were saying.
that's the whole thing. Was like, look, dude, we're making the playoffs. We need you for the playoff run.
Mhm.
That's what it's been.
Okay. Hey, either way, he playing on
Yep.
Saturday, and like you said, I believe he's starting right next to number 91, bro.
Oh my gosh, it's gonna be beautiful.
It's gonna be amazing. It's gonna be amazing. Now, I granted, a lot of people are worried about him. A lot of people have given up on him. How do you think Kinlaw is going to use that type of motivation to play in this game?
Dude, this is somebody that's been given up on repeatedly his entire life. This is
Jeez.
somebody that's literally come from the streets and, sleeping on the bus with his sister to keep her warm, coming from another country whenever he was a baby, to not being academically eligible, to having to grind his way, to losing 50 pounds in a year. You just go on and on and on. The man that Javon Kinlaw is, if you're one of those people that counts this guy out, you haven't paid attention. You haven't paid attention. Now, the knee's an issue, and it's going to be an issue probably for the majority of his career. He even came out and said this is just something that's going to have to be managed. But I believe in people. And Javon Kinlaw is one of those people I believe in. Just incredible human being and has overcame so much. I just don't see this as something that's going to stop him from being what he could be. I'm betting on him.
Yeah, I'm with you, bro. I'm betting on him. For one, he has the potential to be like so dominant on that defensive front. And did you hear like Kyle's planning to using him on every down? Like this is like what are we talking about here? We're talking about a guy with a messed up with a not a messed up knee, but with a knee issue, right? And possibly can be an every down defensive tackle now for the 49ers. I think stuff is just unfolding when it's supposed to, right? Because I feel like Kyle just finds ways, like Miss Debbie says, to manipulate the system. It's not conspiracy. It's just Kyle saying, I can let you relax a little bit. You come in, for a second down, and then we'll switch you on third downs. Now we got really good third down rushers. We can switch Kerry Hart in there on a third down. Kevin Givens won't be playing in this game, but there's some other guys that we have that can rotate. Let's talk about the other defensive tackles because this is what's going to Kinlaw playing enables them to be better too. We're correct.
Yeah, and I think, back to this idea of how much. Last week on Thursday, which we were there for the Seattle game, had a great time. There were 64 defensive snaps, okay? Eric Armstead took 47, which he's always like an Iron Man as far as like NFL snaps goes because he plays pass rushing downs, bulk downs, heavy downs. He plays them all. But the next defensive tackle was Kerry Hyder, who played 23. Now, he's questionable this week. Then you got Akeem Spence, 20. Ty McGill, 16, right? That's where I see Kinlaw, especially early. Kind of 15 to 22 snaps right in that window. That's all you need from him. That's it. And I want Kinlaw on early, heavy downs. I want Kinlaw in there on first and second down, stop the run, because that's what the Commanders want to do. And this helps everybody else because now if you're Kerry Hyder, who's not a defensive tackle, mind you, he's a defensive end converted, he gets to come in and play, instead of what he played, 23 snaps, he plays 15 snaps. Instead of Ty McGill playing 16 snaps, he plays 13 snaps. You see what I'm saying? So they get to come in and just go all out energy, all out effort, which both those are effort players anyway, for a smaller sample size, which I like that a lot. I like that. It makes everybody better.
Yeah, and that was the whole purpose of stacking the front, right? It was like having guys fresh, rotation. I take it back to those Giant seasons when they won those Super Bowls. Listen, man, look, they had guys rotating. And I'm like, who's this getting a sack on Brady?
I mean,
Like, it's like, who's this guy? Where did Tuck come from? He was a bench guy, rotation. And that's what the 49ers want, especially going into the playoffs. Speaking of playoffs, let's talk a little bit about that. Let's go ahead and announce that. All right, playoffs. All right, so the 49ers will be playing their first home game in Santa Clara. John and the 49ers Rush Road Trip, aka the podcast, we're going to be doing something really dope. So, John, why don't you talk about it real quick, man?
Man, we were able to go to the Miami game. And we threw a tailgate, the blue lot #1. It was incredible. Man, we had such a good time. And so we're going to replicate that. We're going to do that again. Playoff bound 49ers Rush Road Trip. All you got to do is go to 49ersrushroadtrip.com. Tickets are up now. Unlimited food, drinks, giveaways, trivia, competitions, and you get to hang out with us, and we march to the stadium together. It's an absolutely incredible time, and we're stepping up our game. We don't like to do things the same way. We're stepping up. We're elevating our game to make sure it's going to be one of the best tailgates ever. So 49ersrushroadtrip.com. We're going to be out there for the wild card game. Whenever it's announced, it could be on Saturday, Sunday, or Monday, but whenever it is, we're going to be there having a good time in the parking lot, eating food, and we throw parties before and after the game. So after the game, we'll meet back at the same tailgate spot, and we'll party some more until they kick us out. That's usually what we do.
It's called Parking Lot Pimping, ladies and gentlemen, and we will definitely be out there having a good time in the blue light. All right, so DeMarcus wants to talk about Trey Lance gave out his gifts.
Awesome.
Yeah, like I'm probably gonna go to the store today. Just the price. I just gonna window shop. I just want to know
Oh,
how much Sonos costs.
they're
Some
not
people told
cheap.
me, yeah, that's what I heard. Like, it's Sonos is not Sony, right? That's something totally different.
This your department, Wayne.
You're
You
absolutely
do
right.
not need to
Absolutely
appeal
right.
to me.
You're right. But I'm sitting here listening to my Samsung soundbar, and I'm like, I wonder what the Sonos sounds like. So I'm gonna go test it out. I am going front. Well, so he gave players the Sonos soundbar. He gave them the Yeti backpacks, the cooler backpacks, and then the offensive lineman. You know what I'm saying? He got them custom fitted suits. Now I've never had a custom fit. Yes, I have. I'm lying. It costs some money. It costs
Yeah.
money. You know, especially depending on the brand and the custom. It costs money. But somebody asked Jake Brendo, what did Brock Purdy give for you guys for Christmas? And he said wins. Is that
Well, here's the problem.
I
Okay,
gotta
couple
ask
things.
John, is
All
that
right.
shade?
Brock Purdy has literally the cheapest contract in the entire NFL.
Correct.
Okay. Trey Lance drafted third overall the previous year, not so much. And so it's an issue of money. Jake Brindle is making, I think, let's be honest with this. Like here, I find this answer right now.
Probably make
It-
a 500,000 if that.
that's what I'm saying. Like I don't even think it's close as far as like
He
what
said
they're
Purdy's on a
making.
Taco Bell contract.
It's bad. I mean, literally the cheapest
I
in
used to
the
have that
entire
sound.
NFL. So let's see here. You got to scroll all the way to the bottom.
Damn.
Jake Brindle's making $1 million a year. Where is I don't even see Brock Purdy on this list. There he is.
Uh-oh.
He's got a 4-year 3.7. So he's making $900,000 a year.
Okay.
So yeah, not too much more. Not too
Not a
much more.
millionaire yet, but he's
Yeah,
getting
no,
close.
not even close. So yeah, like it's different for sure. But no, man, you look at Trey Lance and what he's making. Trey Lance is making $8.5 million a year.
Mhm.
It's not close. And
Okay.
so
I'm
that's
gonna
why
hit
that is the way that it is. And
I'm
people
gonna
try
hit
to
Trey
cause
Lance up.
like one of the things I say is like people that are throwing shade on Trey for giving gifts to his teammates.
I
What the
don't
hell, man?
I don't
That's a
think it
weird
was
ass energy.
I don't think it was shade on Trey. It was more shade on is shade being thrown to Trey from from Jake Brindle's
No,
comment
I don't think so.
when he said that, well, you know, Brock Purdy is giving us wins. Can we,
No, I don't think so.
John, take yourself out of the
He is
situation?
giving them wins. He's won 2 in a
I
row.
know, but do you think that should have been said?
Yeah,
Like,
because well, what he
hell
was
no, you
doing is
can't
basically
say that.
saying, "No, this dude's broke as hell. Like, what's he supposed to give us? He's not making. I'm making more. All of us are making more money than him. Why should he be giving us gifts?" When you look at Trey Lance, it's like, "Oh, you're one of the highest paid players because of where you were drafted."
Mhm.
Um, yeah, I don't know.
I'm
I
not
don't
being a
know,
conspiracy theorist, guys. I'm
dude.
just
You
asking.
are a conspiracy theorist, Wade.
But this is not a conspiracy. He gave
I don't think
gifts.
so
All right.
either.
So here's the thing: Trey Lance gives gifts. Some people said, not me. I don't put this stuff out. I just report it.
Right,
Some
right, right,
people
right.
said that, oh, Trey Lance is giving these expensive gifts because he's trying to win his starting job back.
No, oh my gosh. You look across the league. Zach Wilson did the same thing.
He gave
Fields
out
did this. This is the NFL. This is the
yeah,
NFL.
yeah. I agree, but I'm curious to know, like, some people feel like the comment from Jake Brendo, who is a Pro Bowler. That's what's up, man. I gotta give the boy a round of
Alternate.
applause.
He's an alternate.
Either way, he's a Pro
And I'm
Bowler.
happy for him.
That boy's a Pro Bowler. So if somebody don't make it, he will be there 100%.
There you go.
He just makes the comment. It doesn't bother me. I could care two less, Some people say it was wrong. Some people say they don't care. Like it is what it is.
I will say that it represents the fan base and the fact that everybody's getting behind Brock Purdy. And I love that. I
Yes,
really, really do
100%.
love that because kind of the line was drawn between Jimmy and Trey and whatever else. But I feel like everybody's kind of come behind Brock. And I do like that for this fan base. And the players seem to be the same way.
Faithful from birth. What an amazing name, right? They said absolutely love how John and Wayne relationship has grown, becoming more brotherly by the week. If you can only see how brotherly we are behind the scenes, so one year, John, we're gonna hire people to camera you and camera me, and they're gonna put together the behind the scenes
The
of
John
John.
and Wayne show.
Yes, because that's going to be so official. Listen, I
We
don't
get
cheat,
along on everything except duct tape. That's the one where we start
so they
fighting
will
every single
never
week, man.
understand that. And so
We
let's tell them. Let's go ahead and tell them. So John
so go ahead.
has the big gorilla. It's not even duct tape. See, he said the wrong tape. It's
That's
gorilla
right. I
tape.
did.
Totally different from duct tape, right? It's a lot more better. Anyway, he has this big black gorilla duct tape, right? So we use it on everything to hang up signs, to hang up things, whatever. So I am the type of person that wants to rip the fat pieces of the tape off and
And
then
it's
do
got to
what
be
you got to do
even.
with it. Right.
Yeah, not
Not
me.
John, though.
Nope.
John will rip a strip and then rip another strip, and now the tape is uneven. So you can call me Monk. If you guys ever seen that show, you can say it's my
OCD, man.
OCD, whatever it is. John likes to have this. So when I go to use the tape,
It's like 5 different levels, and so it's not even. And so then Wayne starts yelling at me, and I'm over here working on something. He's yelling at me on the other side. It's just like, man, dude, I don't know.
and so the last show, my son was there, and so I just told my
Dude,
son,
he's the man, dude.
I said, don't worry about the tape. Just find the way he ripped it, because I've yelled at him 4 times. I'm not going to yell at him again. It just doesn't make any sense. So if you understand, you see, Coach Cruz says,
Yep. It's the way it goes, man. There's 2 types of people. There's layered duct tape people, and there's even duct tape people. I'm layered. I'm like an onion, man. There's layers to this. Anyway, we get along pretty good. We do fight sometimes, but it's always funny. It's always funny.
But John, you're the best, because you'll always check in. You'll be like, you're okay? Are you good?
You good, man? You good?
John, I'm good. I just want my freaking drink ticket so I could give them to the people, bro.
Yeah.
Oh man, but amazing times, and I can't wait to do it again. We'll be in Vegas, and then we'll be out there to Santa Clara one more time. Hopefully, all the rest of the times. I hope everything goes through Santa Clara some way, somehow. That would be the dopest story in the world. John, I never got your opinion on this. I did a show earlier this week, and we'll get into breaking down the game. Coach of the year, Kyle Shanahan in Vegas is like number 3 on the list. Do you think he should be bumped up to like 2 or 1?
The problem is with these awards, right? With the awards comes a certain kind of stigma or like tag that's attached to it. It's not coach of the year. That's not what this award is. This award is new upcoming coach. That's what it has been. It's not who the best coach is. If it was who the best coach is, Kyle Shanahan would have won back in 2019. But whatever. That's okay.
But wasn't he new and upcoming then, John? Not to cut you off.
Maybe he was, but like it's not going to Kyle Shanahan. I'm telling you that why. Here's why. People will look at the team last year and say, well, they got to the NFC Championship last year. They were supposed to be good. But you're discounting the fact that, hey, you're winning with your 3rd string quarterback, and you have overcome the most injuries at key positions, stacked positions, and you just continue to dominate. So yes, he should be considered 100%. No way he should not be 2 or higher. It's probably going to go to Nick Sirianni. And hey, he's done a good job. But again, that's a stacked roster. That's a stacked roster. So if I was going to argue against Sirianni and Shanahan, I would say, hey, those are 2 of the best rosters in the NFL. So he should be considered. Should he win it? I think he should be top 2. You keep winning like this, and maybe the Eagles take a step back and lose with Gardner Minshew, and you prove like, hey, we're winning with our 3rd string quarterback. You can't win with your highest paid backup quarterback in the league. There's some issues there. I'm a big Gardner Minshew fan, though, so I'll just throw that out there.
Why?
I just think he's a baller, dude. You look at what's he got, like a 14 to like 2 interception ratio since he started games. Like, I think he's just I think he's a hell of a player. I don't think he's like a top 10 quarterback or anything like that, but I do think that he is very, very, very good.
Who does that remind you of on the 49ers?
Yeah, I mean, you could make the arguments, the Minshew Purdy similarities from physical everything. They're very similar, besides haircuts and mustaches.
Right.
That's about it.
We got the stash.
No, I love me some Gardner Minshew. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, Troy, it was great meeting you in Denver.
It was, man. That was cool.
Yep,
that was cool.
I can't wait till we do like the show where we get to talk about our experiences this past year. We got a couple of
thank you so much for tuning in.
Couple of super chat contributions. Jacqueline Knox is having a rough morning, but I was not going to miss the show. Good morning, faithful. 11-4, John. 11-4. Speaking
I
it
like
into
it.
existence. I love it. I
Hope your
love it.
day gets better, Miss Knox. Appreciate the generosity. That's incredible. I love it.
Thank
People
you.
that are having a hard time but bring a positivity to other people, those are good people, man. Those are great people.
I agree. Great people. 49ers underscore throwback, aka my man. Shame on the Jets. Over or under Jimmy's. I can't even say over or under. Jimmy's going to the Jets.
It's hard to that just makes way too much sense,
Jimmy and
man.
the Jets. Jets.
Yeah.
It just that's if I'm Robert Sala, I'm trying to make that happen. And it's okay because this will be it. So he'll get one more shot, right?
Robert Saleh, yeah, he's not going anywhere.
He'll get one more shot. I feel like he'll get
Yeah.
one more shot because he drafted his quarterback. He's built his defense. He drafted his quarterback. Next year he's
He's
gonna
got
get
the
a
GM though. That's Joe Douglas, and
that's
I'm
Joe.
sure he had his input,
Ooh,
but
ooh.
I'm not putting that on him. And the
Okay.
culture and the defense, which is what Robert Saleh is, that's on par. They have hit. I mean, you got defensive rookie of the year, Sauce Gardner. Saleh's not going anywhere. He's got a lot of fans in that community. It's just the offense and the quarterback position has been absolute trash. So that's what it is.
And y'all wanted Zach Wilson. I'm
Yeah,
just
I
playing.
don't.
I'm just playing. I'm just playing. But seriously, like, look, he's just not. He just doesn't look good. I
No.
don't think he'll ever be good. Give him some time to grow, maybe.
Yeah, I mean,
Sort of like
best case
Geno
scenario is
Smith.
like a Ryan Tannehill type career arc,
Yeah.
but that's a stretch. I think probably closer to Marcus Mariota.
Ugh,
Both
that's
drafted too,
crazy.
right?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Peachy, we get to see Peachy.
We get to see Peachy. She'll
Oh
be
man, that
there
makes
on
me happy.
Saturday, man. It's gonna be
That
cool.
makes me happy.
It does. It does. Haven't seen Peachy in a minute. It's gonna be good to see her. It really will be. Breath of fresh air. All right, John, let's get down to this breakdown. Let's start talking about this game, man. 49ers, number one defense in the league. Washington Commanders, number 4 defense in the league.
Yeah, they're good. I mean, they've got it's very similarly built. They do more of a 3-4 overlook, but we're a traditional 4-3 or a ghost 9-4-3, but whatever. They have great defensive linemen, defensive tackles. They got 2 great ones, defensive ends. They got 2 great ones. Chase Young, he's getting his first game back. Montez Sweat, who I think is better than Chase Young. I know that's like crazy to say, but he's been so consistent. Then you got Payne on the
That is
inside and Jonathan, who's just been killing it as well. So you've got 4 first round freaking stud D linemen. And that's where this game will be decided because you've got best on best, D line on D line. And we're going to see. And now there's Ohio State overlaps, right? With Nick Bosa and Chase Young. Like that's huge right there. You got
somebody's
the
gonna
SEC
throw out.
matchups, which I think
Mhm.
is important with, Kinlaw coming back versus all the Alabama guys. Like it's a gut check game now. This is an old school, what's it, 1990s Big Ten game.
1990s Big Ten game.
Yep.
Yes, the big dogs. Hey, so you mentioned defensive line. Look, if I had to ask you which defensive line is better, which one would
Hmm.
you take?
I think the 49ers for sure because you've got the best player overall. The
Okay,
the, the
okay.
gap between Nick Bosa and anybody else in this conversation is
From
enormous.
from that line, right?
Enormous. Yeah, from our line to their line doesn't matter. Like
Understood.
Chase Young is nowhere near Nick Bosa.
Not near. He's dynamic,
Montez
but he's
Sweat
nowhere near.
now maybe in the pass rush, but still not there. But Montez Sweat's more of a pass rusher, pure pass rusher, not as great in the run. Nick Bosa's, again, look at his tackle for losses every year.
Mhm,
It's huge.
mhm.
So I'm taking the 49ers on a depth side and on top tier level. Sign Avatar always knows this stuff. So I'm going Niners. But if you were to ask, their 3 and 4 are better than our 3 and 4. But after that, Niners, 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 if that makes sense. So I take our 1, I take their 2, 3, 4, and then I take our everything after that.
So it's because of the depth, because of so when I look at their defensive front, right? I look at their line, I'm like, dang, like I get it. They don't have anybody at the caliber of a Nick Bosa, but I feel like their other players may be better than our other players. If you take their inside guys, their tackles, do you have them slightly edged over Armstead and Kinlaw?
No, I think they're close. Well, Kinlaw, that one's a mess, but there's a big difference. Like we went over the snap share, right, of the defensive tackles. We'll listen to the Washington versus Giants game just last week, week 15. Listen to their snap share. 63 snaps by the Washington defense. Daron Payne, their defensive tackle, played 58 snaps.
Yeah.
Jonathan Allen, 56 snaps. Montez Sweat, 47 snaps. They don't rotate. They don't do waves.
Correct.
They keep their guys out there. And guess what that means for the 49ers? Awesome. We're going to be throwing screens. You're going to be running sideline to sideline. Then we're coming at you with Jordan Mason. We're going to wear your ass out.
Bam.
There's a big difference. It's a difference in philosophy.
Yes, sir.
And so Shanahan likes to pound in the fourth quarter. So you're going to be chasing Christian McCaffrey early. Then they're coming downhill with Jordan Mason. I know he's questionable with the hamstring, but I fully expect him to play. I don't know, man. It's different. I want your studs out there, and sometimes I wish we would have our studs out there. But you look at Bosa and Armstead; they're out there all the time. Everybody else is rotating. So I don't know. It's interesting. I didn't even pay attention to this beforehand when I was writing my report up. So
see, it's interesting because I watched their film from last week, and this was without Chase Young, and they were giving the Giants a little fritz, you know what I'm saying? Like it was defensive pretty much for the majority of the game, but I mean, the Giants defense was able to score a touchdown, so it kind of changes things a little bit, you know what I'm saying? But I feel like the one thing that they're going to try to do is come out, take away the run game. And so Kyle is going to have to figure out other ways to make the run game effective because that's their strength. Other than their strength is on the front. I don't think their linebackers are great. And then they got maybe one of the possible players in the secondary. I do like Fuller.
Kerry Curl. I like Kerry Curl.
And then yes.
Niners were high on him too. They had multiple meetings with him in the draft. Out of Arkansas State, I think.
But he's coming off of he practiced this week. He was the guy I was high on last year in the Senior Bowl. Once I was like, oh, the 49ers should draft him. He had a great Senior Bowl. And he went to the Washington Commanders. So they got players out there.
Yeah.
You know, I don't want people to think that this is going to be some type of a cakewalk game. We still have to we got to be on our A game because they got.
But at the same time, though, like Wayne, like the last two games, it's weird. The schedule was weird. They played the Giants back-to-back games. They played the Giants, had a bye week, played the Giants.
Mm-hmm.
You go from playing the Giants to playing the 49ers.
It's going to be.
They're not the same, bro. Those are not the same style. They're not the same quarterback. That's not the same O-line. They're not the same running game. There's nothing. There's no overlap there.
I agree. I think the issue is this, right? I love Brock Purdy. I just feel like there's going to be one game where he's going to make those mistakes.
It's coming. Oh, I'm with you.
I don't want to hear that though. I don't want you to tell me that it's coming. I know it's coming. I don't want to. I don't want it to happen. I think that's what it is, and I feel like
he keeps surprising us. Maybe another surprise is coming.
But this could be that game where their defense is just clicking, and we can't figure it out on offense, which means our defense is on the field the majority of the time. Now, don't get it twisted. I don't think their offense can do anything against our defense.
Yeah, I'm with you there.
I like McLaurin.
But still, the issue is this: their offensive line's not great.
It's trash.
Tyler Heineke's not great. Like they lead the one thing that, he'll run on us, but he's not fast. But he's tough. He's tough as hell. I'll say this: the number one thing that they do, and this is how Washington has won all their games. They're number one in time of possession.
Yes,
they want to control the clock. They want to bleed out as many possessions as possible, keep it close until the fourth, and then something break their way. Like they are a survivor team, not a winning team. That's how they win their games.
Yeah.
The only time that didn't happen was when they played against the Eagles and they just ran roughshod on them. But I just don't see that happening this week. But that's just me.
It's gonna be interesting, right? Because I feel like the 49ers are gonna come out. I'm hoping that they start the game off like they do every game. I hope they win the toss, they defer, they come on defense, just punch this team right in the mouth. I don't feel like the Washington Commanders are going to be able to score. I just don't. Like they will, but I don't feel like they're going to score. Now, they will get some points. I'll do my score prediction at the end of the show, but it's not going to be crazy. So our
No.
defense alone is going to keep this game at bay. Now the question is, can our offense, which we don't really tie into or talk about as much, can our offense figure out a way to manipulate those studs they got on defense? And that's the issue. Offensive line has been playing the best football the past 3 weeks, right?
Yeah.
They've been the best offensive line in the NFL. Offensive line was so great. Jake Brendo is a Pro Bowl alternate. And I'm not taking a shot at him. I'm congratulating him. I'm happy for him. It's just that in the run game, he's been
It's a
struggling
shot.
all season.
Yeah, yeah. And so if you look at the numbers as far as like, oh, sacks given up and whatever, he does well. And we've said that. Like his issue hasn't been in the pass game. It's the run game. That's been the issue, which is hard to quantify unless you're watching the film like we do all the time. But I'm happy he made it, and I hope he gets paid. The sad thing is he's probably going to get paid by us. I'm sure the Niners will bring him back. I'm a big Nick Sakiel fan. You're a big Jason Poe fan.
Jason Pope, right?
I will
Next
throw
year.
this out there. Guess who Brock Purdy's roommate is? Does anybody know the answer to that one?
Is it Jason Poe? Nick Sakiel.
It's Nick Sakiel.
I knew it was one of our guys.
Yeah, just saying.
Cool
The
thing
chemistry is
Skill's
set,
been
baby.
on the active roster all season long. He's just been inactive.
Very similar to what they did with Banks last year. Almost
Very
identical.
similar to what they did with Banks. So this is his redshirt year.
Yep. Remember, he was the only guy whenever his name's the main scout guy. Not freaking this is bothering the hell out of me. Who's our main personnel guy? Not named John Lynch. Oh my gosh, I should be fired.
Adam
I'm gonna have
Peters?
to, yes, thank you. I'm gonna have to quit my show.
No,
Adam
you don't.
Peters,
You just
when
take a break.
asked, no such thing. No rest for the wicked. Maybe in 7 or 9 weeks. When Adam Peters was asked if there was a gold helmet player, which is the Niners like draft demarcation for a person with an absolute clean record, high upside, perfect fit, all that stuff. He said they did not land one person with a gold helmet, but the person that was closest was Nick Sakiel. So I'm throwing that out there. They're pretty high on that cat.
Ivy League, man.
Well, Fordham, yeah.
Well, second Ivy League.
Yeah.
You know, there's the
yeah.
tiers.
It's
of
a hard,
Ivy League.
it's a hard thing to get into.
Yeah. Yeah. So Commanders are ranked first in time of possession, and Niners.
Can
are
I
ranked
call
second.
timeout? Can I call timeout?
Timeout.
There's a comment from Bomber T
Let's go find it.
in the chat. It's at the bottom.
Okay.
He says, I have a feeling Purdy is going to go off. This is huge for me because Bomber, I love Bomber T. He's on our show all the time. Usually not the most positive cat in the room.
Nope.
This is an example of what the fan base is going through that is different. You had everybody fighting about Trey or Jimmy or whatever. Purdy shows up and you got people thinking he's going to go off. And I freaking love it, man. And so I'll take it. And so sorry, I apologize. I think this is important. Credit to Bomber T. I love people that can, rally. And I think this is a representative message of what the fan base is going through. And I think it's needed at this time. I really,
Let's
really
talk
do.
about it though, because we've witnessed Purdy have a really good offensive game against Miami. We witnessed him win the game the following week, like his first start, right? And so now and then he wins in Seattle, right? And so now you're saying, okay, and that was from a bruise. He was bruised up in that game. So he beats Tampa Bay. He puts on a clinic pretty much against Tampa Bay. He was better than Tom Brady. I mean, that's hard to fathom.
Considerably.
Oh my gosh, right? And then he goes out injured and beats the Seattle Seahawks with the 49ers. I mean, he goes out there and gets it done.
He won that game, whether you're talking about the 2 touchdown passes, whether you're talking about the slide at the end. Like, it was not a game managed whatever. No.
I know the score was close.
Well,
but the 49ers, we were there. I forgot we were there. Like, I never thought for once, like, the 49ers were in control the whole game.
You remember when they got the ball, they downed the punt inside the 1 yard line.
Yep.
And I turned to you and Vicky. Shout out to Vicky. She's the best in the world. I turned to you and Vicky, what she's like an adamant Jimmy G fan, whatever. She don't like Trey. And I was like, man, I am so glad Jimmy Garoppolo is not our quarterback right now. And like I felt that because just how him and safeties and all those things, and I felt calm the whole time. I really did. And Shanahan called like play action rollout
Yeah.
in the end zone, just
Oop,
like we
oop,
did with
oop.
Jimmy. It got the first down.
Got
Like
the first down.
the calm, the poise, like they all bring different things. And Jimmy's incredible. Trey has his, things for sure, upside and whatever else. Purdy doesn't have a lot of those things, but man, he got poise. He's got moxie. I refer to him as the poor man's Joe Burrow. And I don't mean that as like an insult. I'm just saying, if you look at Joe Burrow, there's no reason for him to be as good as he is. He doesn't have arm strength, doesn't have size, doesn't have speed, doesn't have any of those things. It's just all up here. And that's where Brock Purdy comes in. He's small as hell. He doesn't have a strong arm. He's quick, but he's not fast. He's just calm, cool, collected all the time, man. And that is hard to measure. And I feel confident. I think the other players feel confident. I think the coaches feel confident. He just makes me feel warm at night. That's all I'm saying.
$1 million question for you. Is
I'll
this
take
a
that $1 million.
must-win game for the 49ers?
No.
Okay.
No, the must-win games have come and gone. The must-win game was the Seattle game. The must-win game was the Mexico City game. Like those games have come and gone. You could lose out and still be the 3 seed. Now you don't want to do that. But no, this is not now for the Commanders. This is a must-win game.
Must-win game for them to stay
because, they lose this game. You look at teams the following week after they play the 49ers, 0-12. 0-12. The only team that's won after they played the 49ers was the Chiefs, and they had a bye week afterwards, and then they went to overtime with the Titans to win the following week. So
Kyle Shanahan said that didn't count. That was pretty cool. Like
that don't count.
He was like, yeah, but that was the week after the bye week,
right?
You know what I'm saying.
This is a team that values beating the hell out of people.
Oh man, it's like they're for my new name for the 49ers. They're the Shang Tsungs of the NFL, right?
Oh, your soul is mine.
Your soul is mine. Right, and so that's what they're doing. So like it's almost like. Look, dude, I don't see how we lose any other more games. I know we can. I just don't see it. I don't see it.
It's going to take one of those Purdy coming back to reality and making a couple mistakes because now let's be real. My draft evaluation on Purdy was wrong. Okay. I want to put that out there. But the one thing I've watched a lot of, I'm a Longhorn. I've watched Big 12 football. I've known this guy since he came out of high school in Arizona. He's streaky positive. He's streaky negative. And so, again, maybe that's changed, but his college tape, whenever he was bad for a little bit. So if he starts whatever, that streak starts going bad. And we saw it in the Seahawks game where he had 3 bad passes in a row. He had the dropped interception to Quandre Diggs, the 2 plays before that, overthrew Ayuk, and Ayuk starts looking around like, what the hell are you doing? Who are you throwing it to? But then he responded and came back and delivered, which was awesome. But, so like that would be my one concern. And it's going to show up. Every quarterback goes through bad stretches. We just haven't seen Brock Purdy's yet. And I hope it never comes. I hope he's the greatest quarterback of all time. But history would tell us
it's going to happen.
Quarterbacks go through highs and lows.
They do. And that's why I know people are like, oh, Breezie, why are you anticipating his downfall? I'm not praying for it. I don't want it to happen.
No.
But it's
just normal.
It's just football, guys. It's kind of what happens. Kylie says, would a loss serve us good in the long term? I don't want to peak too soon. Pause for peak. Yeah.
I get that. We've got the 7-game win streak, longest in the NFL. Do you want to win 10 games and go into the playoffs? I'd be cool with that. Shanahan's pretty big on keeping the streak and momentum alive. I want to keep winning, man. I want this mythic kind of superstitious, wonderful tale. It's Christmas time. That is Brock Purdy. I want it to continue to grow and fester and become one of the greatest stories of all time. Which is what if? What if?
The funny thing is I can see it happening. So it's like Brock just has to play like Brock. Like I don't care what that means. That means he just needs to be him. So if he throws 3 incompletions or 3 interceptions or whatever, as long as he come back and fixes himself up. Because look, I feel like Brock can play poorly and the defense can give him the ball back and give him the ball back and give him the ball back. And you know what I'm saying? So, like, I feel like Brock knows he can kind of just be free out there. If he messes up, he's confident that I don't want this to happen. I don't want to put the pressure on the defense, but the defense has been battle tested. They've been through 2 quarterbacks already this year, 2 different types of quarterbacks. On top of that, they've seen just about everything in the book. And now Brock just needs to continue to go out there and play the football that he knows how to play. I feel like if he does that, it doesn't matter. He's going to go out there and find a way, just like he went and got that first down, which he definitely slid early. But boy, if he didn't have the brain capacity to know to just put the ball out, let me slide like who the hell
He's not
slide?
making difficult passes. You know, he's checking down a lot, which I love.
Yeah.
And again, you know, you talk about, you know, this complementary football. It's not Brock versus the world. It's
No.
Brock versus the opposing team with the 49ers defense. And so if you look at the Commanders, they scored over 20 points 3 times in 12 games. 3 times. You don't have to light the world on fire to win this game.
The 49ers only give up 15 points a game, bro.
Yeah.
They're averaging at 15 points a game. Ugh.
The over-under is 38, one of the lowest this week. Again, back to this idea, the Commanders want to draw out the game, slow it down, keep it within a possession, that's something break their way at the end. What do the 49ers want to do? They want to run it 40 times. This is going to be a shrunk game with a running clock. It's just That's the way this is going to be. Not going to be a lot of plays. Not going to be a lot of plays.
I like the way you broke that down. More passing plays, more running plays for the 49ers in this game.
I think it's going to be close to 50-50. The problem is, not problem, the context is, are checkdowns to CMC, are those a running play? Because they sure as hell should be in this offense, because that's how accurate they are. So, yeah, I think, you know, let's say we get 62 plays. I could see 32 runs, 30 pass attempts. But again, another 9 of those are going to be checkdowns to CMC or Kyle Juszczyk, or, you know, a screen to Kittle, or Juwan Jennings coming in on jailbreak screen, things like that.
It's going to be amazing. I think the 49ers are going to continue to do what they've been doing. Everybody knows that. That's why we're here, right? Like, we know that. And I think that's why people are so into Brock right now, because they're like, yo, this kid has done some amazing stuff. So even if he does make a mistake, just brush the dirt off your shoulder, little homie, and keep it going. And look at the support he has from the coaches, from his teammates, training staff. Like, he just has support. I don't think he needs it. That boy's a big boy. Like, the boy has confidence like ridiculous. You can't teach that, man. I be trying to tell people, man, like, when we used to be teachers, right? You know, you have your students, and then you have those outliers, right? The ones that just exuberate in confidence. Like they just have something. They have the it factor, I guess, if you want to call it, right? It's kind of what Brock has. And so he just has to keep going out there and putting as much it he can out there, you know. And I think if Kyle just lets him play, like, and Kyle, it's up to Kyle Shanahan, though, because Kyle has, you can tell Kyle trusts this kid after giving him the Hollywood play. Like at first I was like, maybe Kyle doesn't trust him. Then when you see this Hollywood play come out, we saw it in living color, and I think we went like this. Oh, I think that was our reaction at the game. Did you see that, Wayne? Did you see that, John?
The entire Seattle fan base was the exact same thing, but opposite. Just we were like, oh, damn. Ooh.
It was so dope. We were just like 1, 2, and when he went to the left, I was like, touchdown. I didn't even see I didn't even see the throw to Kittle, bro. I was just like, touchdown. I didn't even look. I just knew.
It was like the film showed it. You're right. The back, like you see the end zone view and the all 22. And at the start of the play, there's 10 players within the frame. And then you got the fake this way, then there's 1 player within the hashes. And I mean, it was just awesome. And I'll throw this in there too. Wayne, you said there's no way the 49ers can lose the wild card game. Why is there no way? Because it's somebody's what? What is it? Why can the 49ers not win a wild card game, or can't lose? Because it's your birthday. It's your birthday week.
That's just my birthday.
Guess whose birthday it is this week?
Who?
Brock Purdy.
Hey! birthday. Let's go. Is Purdy a
Dude's turning
Capricorn?
23. He's December 27th. I don't know what that is. Maybe an
Hey,
asparagus.
when the hell
But
does
like he
Capricorn
fits
start
somewhere in
out
there.
there, y'all? Because if Purdy is a Capricorn, it explains it. Oh, I can
I
tell
don't
you
know what
why
that
he
stuff means.
exuberates in confidence. I can tell you from personal experiences why this dude with his back is against the wall. I can tell you right now. Please tell me that man's a Capricorn. I feel like he's a Capricorn. I feel like it starts like the 20-something. I don't know. I could be wrong. I don't
I
follow.
like that you are a conspiracy theorist and into astrology. You complete
He's a
me.
mother freaking Capricorn. Let's go. I knew it. I could feel it. I could feel my Capricorns, y'all. You want to know why
Oh,
Purdy?
man.
Hold on, John. Here's you want to know why Purdy playing so damn good, bro? Because he about that money. Let me tell you something. Purdy is gonna get a contract in the NFL from somebody in the next 3 years. I promise you.
Well, look at Kyle's got everybody paid. Nick Mullins, he's gotten freaking CJ Beathard. If you're quarterback, you get paid. You get paid with Kyle Shanahan, period. Nate Sudfeld, everybody get paid.
Guys, this is why John completes me. I would have never thought of that. You know what I'm saying? Never thought of that. John, you can never not do this show. You have to always be on this show.
I'm not going anywhere, man.
John, let's get up out of here shortly. Guys, we ain't going away, so don't click off yet. John's got to give us his key matchups in the game.
Oh,
I'm
let's
going to
do
ask
this.
him to give me a defensive key matchup and an offensive key matchup. So let's see if I can put John to the test.
Let's go. Which one do you want me to do first?
Go with your offense. Our offense versus their defense.
Our offense versus their defense. This one's easy for me. Mike McGlinchey versus any defensive end, whether that's Chase Young or Montez Sweat, which they're going to rotate, all that stuff. Mike McGlinchey versus their defensive ends. He doesn't have to like be dominant, whatever else. McGlinchey's coming off of 3 of the best games of his entire season. Can that continue against a dominant edge rushers? Plural. That's what I want to see. That's what I want to see.
I like them. I don't like that.
I don't like the matchup either, but if he could just be serviceable out there, then the Niners are going to win this game. The only way the Commanders win this game is if Mike McGlinchey ruins 3+ drives. That's it. And so if he could just continue on the pace he's been on, if he can do that, I want to see George Kittle, Tyler Kroft, CMC, Kyle Juszczyk all going to the right side every damn play. That's what I want to see.
Okay. I tell you what, the right side is the nasty side. So I want to see them run it to that side a lot. Like I'm hoping Mike McGlinchey is back in McGlinchey form, if you know what I'm talking about. And
he's played well.
They're running that ball. They're running it. You got Daniel Brunskill or Spencer Burford over there as well. They're running that ball. And you can see some of those runs are now starting to develop on the right side. They're developing on the right side. Here's what I'm concerned though about that matchup. You said edge rushers. So that means Chase Young and Montez Sweat at some point are going to get a piece of McGlinchey. Now, I actually like him against a Chase Young. I feel like he can hold his own. And I know that sounds crazy because I'm probably saying Montez Sweat, like you said earlier in the show, is better than Chase Young. Here's why he's better.
His speed to bend is unreal.
Damn, dude, you took the words right out my mouth. That's why he's better, in my opinion. So it's like if you put Montez Sweat and Chase Young together, you possibly get a cheaper version of Nick Bosa.
Correct. Well said. Very well said. Very well said. Very well said.
Like that matchup. That's gonna make sure, guys, you're glued into that matchup. Hey, Mike McGlinchey hasn't given up a sack in like 3 weeks, yo. I think he's given up like 1 pressure, and he's had 3 penalties though, 1 in each game.
Yeah, and took a field goal off the board. We were in field goal range early, got a holding penalty, then we had to punt. I mean, he takes points off the board consistently. There's no doubt about it. But he's not giving up a lot of pressures.
Hey man, let's go to the defensive side.
Okay, defensive side. This one's rough for me, but I'm going to stick with a theme this whole year. Jimmy Ward is coming off of back-to-back great games. Not good games, great games. He's got his hands full. Now, the good thing is Jimmy Ward has practiced against Deebo Samuel probably more than anybody. In the NFL. Well, guess what? You got another Samuel in the slot. Curtis Samuel, who they use like crazy. That's going to be a huge matchup this week. Jimmy Ward versus Curtis Samuel And they moved McLaurin in the what's it called, the slot as well. So you're going to see Dotson, you're going to see Samuel, you're going to see McLaurin in that slot. I'm not worried about Demo. I'm not worried about Charvarius Ward. He's back. He's going to be fine. I'm worried about Jimmy Ward. Can he continue? There were 2 plays in film where he literally made me gasp because he broke on routes and is starting to feel at home as the nickel. It took time, but there were 2 plays where it was just oh, there's Jimmy. I see him, right? There's Jimmy. And so can he continue that play? In the run game, not concerned at all. It's just, can he take advantage of those matchups? Because if I was Ron Rivera and I was the Commanders offensive group, that's who I'm going after. That's in the passing game. That's where I'm targeting, which a lot of teams have done against us.
Yeah, but he also plays better against better competition. I don't know if you want to factor that into your context, but it just seems like when it's a top tier guy, he plays good. When it's just a guy we don't really know much about, and he kind of doesn't play well. So we'll see. You're right. They're going to put 3 guys into that position, and they're going to rotate them in there. They're also going to try to run out of the backfield with Curtis Samuel. We struggled against that against Kansas City when they did it with McCole Harmon. So I am a little bit concerned, but I do feel like the 49ers at least they should know how to stop it, right?
Should. They've done pretty well against jet sweeps after that game.
After they get right. Yeah, the defense went from whatever that number was then back to number 1, and then they remained number 1 for several weeks. So, yeah, he didn't run much against the Giants. I think he got cracked in the backfield a couple of times, and then they stopped doing it. So I tell you what, crack him in the backfield a couple of times, he won't be doing the runs. That's a good matchup, though. I like that. No one's been talking about Jimmy Ward. Great. Shout out to you for giving Jimmy Ward some props because we're gonna lose him. I feel like he's gone.
He gone.
Damn.
He gone.
Damn. Well, it's going to be a good game. Let's go to a position battle. Give me one position battle. You have to pick one position. These 2 players are going to go pound for pound. Which position would it be, and who would
I think both these teams have the exact same idea on how they want to win this game, and that's run the football. So I'm going running backs. I'm going CMC and Jordan Mason versus Brian Robinson and Gibson. And they're 4 studs. Whoever has the better game. Now, here's where the advantage comes. I feel like Kyle's going to script a much better play and get these guys more space than the Commanders will. And so I think that's where it is.
I love it. All right, give me one game day prediction for you, right? So something that you feel like is going to happen in the game. I'll share mine. You share yours.
I think Nick Bosa is not going to get the sack record this year, which breaks my heart. But this game, Nick Bosa is going to go off. You're going against Chase Young. Everybody called him, oh, this is the next Nick Bosa. He might even be better than Nick Bosa. You remember that crap?
I do.
He's not better than Nick Bosa.
Nowhere
this
near.
Game means a lot. Look at all the Ohio State players that are out there. I mean, it is just peppered. Here, Coach Cruz put this list together for me. I want to shout out to the man, the myth, the legend. Listen to all. I love Coach Cruz. Nick Bosa, Curtis Samuel, Terry McLaurin, Chase Young. All those guys were together at Ohio State at the same time. It's 1 versus 3. Nick Bosa, I've got 2 sacks, 1.5 tackles for loss. I think he has a game.
So I have a crazy.
Sorry, I flipped that. I'm sorry. 1.5 sacks, 2 tackles for loss. My dyslexia strikes again.
Got you. So I have a crazy one. All right. So
I like when Wayne goes crazy. Don't hold back on us now.
No, when do I ever can hold back? All right, so here we go. You ready? So I predicted that a certain player will get a touchdown this year.
Oh, you did. I already know where this is going.
Okay. And so this certain player was actually drafted by this team.
Opposing team.
And on top of that, was kind of like, I don't know how to say this in better terms, but kind of like left for dead.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to say that, but that's kind of what it was. Like, they didn't care about his health, and he could have died.
One of the worst franchises in pro sports. Ron Rivera is incredible. They brought him in to cover it up. This organization is trash, top to bottom. No respect for this franchise. I love Ron Rivera, but they brought him in to be a morality cheerleader. I'm sorry. I hijacked it.
No. I think that's why like I cling to like Trent so much, yo. Like his story, like we tie into our players because a lot because we connect to their stories, and then something from their story connects to our personal life, right? I mean, you have the Dre Greenlaw, you're that's your guy, right? I feel like Trent, like his story is just amazing. That he's here and he's living and he's able to tell it. But I'm gonna tell you right now, on tomorrow, when he put them pads on,
He gonna kill people, man.
somebody's got big, like Biggie said, somebody got to die. If I go, you gotta go. Like somebody is gonna, and I feel bad for whoever it is because they had no idea or have nothing to do with his vengeance.
Nope.
I'll
Nope.
tell you what though, Silverback gonna have a game, and I think he's gonna get that touchdown. I think he's gonna get a touchdown in this game, yo. I can feel it. It's got. We saw a Hollywood play. We saw the Hollywood play. I think that will be a play. I don't know what they're gonna call it. Maybe they'll call it the Silverback. Maybe they'll call it the Silverback.
Oh, I would love it.
I would
You
lose
know,
my
you
shit. I
you
don't even
brought up
care
a
if you lose
biggie.
after that.
You did the biggie line. I'll do a Killer Mike from Run the Jewels. He's like, even if some good ones die, let the good Lord sort them, right? Like people are going to pay the price, man. And it's going to be bad. Watch 71 on that opening series. Watch that left tackle 71. People going to be put into the dirt. That's all I'm saying.
How many pancakes you think Trent gonna get in this game?
That's rough. Do you count the like club over that he does
Hell
where he puts
yeah.
people down
If
as a
they get
pancake?
in the dirt, they in
Oh,
the
10
dirt.
plus. It's gonna be 10 plus. Usually it's about 6 to 8. It's gonna be 10 plus. I want to say this. I want to say 11 people put on the ground by Trent Williams. 11. I'm gonna count them.
Did you count the club move? Yes, I do. If
Yeah.
if the face is in the sand, I
There
count
you
it.
go.
Oh,
There
10
you
plus.
go.
That was dope. John, this has
I'm
been
doing
real, man.
11.
Guys, our preview shows are like none other. First of all,
It's
they're
fun,
unscripted.
man.
Okay. That's so
Truth.
when you tune into this show, we have no idea what we're gonna do other than talk about the two teams, but we don't know how we're gonna get there. So, John, it's the holiday season. I know you said you're not really big on the holidays, but I definitely want to wish you and your family a
Thank
very
you,
Merry
man.
Christmas, man. And I can't wait to see you next week. All right. But for now, let's get this win. Everybody out there, thank y'all for tuning in, man. We truly appreciate you. My son and I, we got to go get our hair did. So we about to
Oh,
go to the barbershop because you got to make appointments now to go to the barbershop like we going to the beauty parlor or something like that. It's just different. Times are different, John. You know what I'm saying? I used to just walk in, and just
right.
see used to be $10, bro, but it ain't $10 no more. But guys, Merry Christmas to everybody out there. There won't be a pregame show tomorrow, but there will be an overreaction show. You know what I'm saying, John? If you're not doing an overreaction show, make sure you jump on with us, man. We're gonna have a blast, man. All right, let's get out of here, man. Merry Christmas. I got to do my sleigh bells, and I got to do
Merry Christmas, you filthy animal.
one of the greatest lines of all time.
And a Happy New Year.
Yes, sir. Bang bang. Hey, John, is Die Hard a Christmas movie?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
I gotta kick him off. All right, so I don't understand how Die Hard is a Christmas movie, but we're not gonna go down that rabbit hole. Let me bring him back because he's cracking up in the back.
Hey, man, I'll tell
Hey,
you this. As
okay.
somebody that didn't like Christmas growing up and family issues, whatever else, Die Hard was the one movie I could watch with my family every year that I actually enjoyed and my dad enjoyed. BS. It's a Christmas movie. Hans Gruber. I'm just saying, let's go, man.
Let's
I'm
go.
just saying. Merry
Let's
Christmas.
go.
Yippee-ki-yay, mother. Yeah.
Hey, guys, we out, man. Thank y'all for tuning in. Always stay up, stay faithful, keep it nitty gritty, y'all. Thanks for watching.